the governor of the state of Michigan. We're very glad to have two Republican running for re-election. Rick Snyder, welcome back to the program.
Good morning, Michael Patrick. How are you today?
Good. Loud and clear you are through our AT&T line, and that's fantastic. I know you're getting your voice ready because we were with Michael Patrick Flanagan just a few minutes ago, the state superintendent of schools, and we told him you're on your way to Saginaw, I think, to go to a school and read to some kids. Is that true?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to be in Grand Blanc at an elementary school, Anderson Elementary, and I'm looking forward to it because it's Michigan Reads time across Michigan schools. So it's to really encourage more reading, and that's an important thing to do, and it's a good partnership with Michigan Library, State Library, and the Department of Education.
Do you know the book? Have you practiced?
It's actually kind of an interesting book. It's about the acoustic rooster.
That's a nice alliteration there. Say that 3 times real fast, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm glad I got the book ahead of time.
Yeah, because you don't want to mess up when you're reading to the kids. Oh,
No, but it's a good thing to do because the more people read, the more kids have an opportunity to read, the better off they are going to be as readers generally. So it's important to get out there and do this.
When you go into a school like that, you said it's an elementary school, I think you're reading to. Are the kids intimidated by you, or are they too young to realize how important a governor is when a governor shows up?
No, they're not intimidated. I mean, that's a usually fun event because it's usually exciting. I mean, they're excited not because I'm just there, but I think they like to actually have those books read to them because it is good. It is an excellent opportunity to share thoughts and get them more excited about reading.
I know you're busy. We didn't get a chance to talk the other night, but I was at Jim Haveman's retirement party. I thought your off-the-cuff remarks were fantastic. But what do you read? What do you read for your own enjoyment if you have time?
Well, I kind of vary back and forth. I go between kind of historical nonfiction in particular, and then going back to kind of more recent events in terms of looking at what's going on in today's world. So I had a little streak there where I was reading a whole bunch of books on healthcare, believe it or not. And then more recently, I've just been reading a book about the creation of the Panama Canal.
You know, I think you just confirmed that you are one tough nerd. That's pretty cool. I don't know if you read Nolan Finley's column yesterday, or if you bothered to read any of the editorials and opinions and so forth. But let me read to you I'll read to you here just a line or two. He says, Snyder is still hung up on the quaint notion that facts and performance should matter. He's reluctant to counter Mark Schauer with sharp punches of his own. Is that in your campaign just sort of sticking with relentless positive action and letting other people be critical of your opponent?
Well, again, I do believe in relentless positive action, and I've been consistent for close to 5 or 6 years now, Michael Patrick, going back to the campaign days even, where I don't believe in blaming people or fighting with people. My hope is, and I believe the desire of most people, are just to see problems solved. And we've solved a lot of problems in Michigan. We still have important ones to work on, but that's been the approach. Let's just solve one problem after another. Let's be positive and constructive about it and be relentless in the pursuit of solutions.
It's still got to bother you, I would think, when you hear somebody like Senate Minority Leader Gretchen Whitmer calling people in your administration crooks, and some of the really nasty stuff that comes out, even if it comes in from, not necessarily your opponent, but outside the state. You just kind of put blinders on and ignore that and let other people take care of it?
Well, again, what other people do that may be clearly inappropriate isn't something that you should go to the same level. So you just keep moving forward, staying positive. The way I describe it to people is I ask people occasionally, I said there's at least 3 worlds in your life. There's a family world, there's a work world, and there's a political world. And just think about the stuff that goes in the political world and just ask yourself the question, how would that go in your family? How would that go in your work? We've dropped the bar way too low in terms of what's acceptable in the political world. If that was happening in our family, I can guarantee you there'd be some really interesting discussions at that kitchen table. And at work, you very well might not have a job if you behave the same way people behave in the political world. So I'm just trying to live to the same standard that, we try to live in the rest of our lives.
Well, that will be, it's sad but true that sometimes that negative campaigning pays off. And right now you're in a dead heat. What will you do? And I know you'd probably rather govern than campaign, I'm guessing, but in order to pull away and separate yourself by November 5th.
Yeah, well, it's important to be up on the air, just as the commercials, and I hope people appreciate them because, again, I'm proud of the record. There's also an exciting future, so that's where I look forward to getting out, doing events, talking about important things, particularly things like the skilled trades. There's tens of thousands of open jobs in Michigan that we can really do a better job of career tech education and helping young people and people looking for that next career find that opportunity. And you consider the great things we've gotten done, nearly 300,000 private sector jobs. Look at what's going on in Detroit, other great activities around the state.
Did you sign off on and like that accountant commercial that you made? What did you make of that?
Yeah, no, I did sign off on it. Again, it's to say, let's just solve the problems. And isn't it important? We were broken in many respects. Not everyone remembers those days. 2009, do you know anyone that wants to go back to 2009 in the state of Michigan?
Certainly not the auto industry, that's for sure, and certainly not those of us who, might have been without a job at that time. Very quickly, because I know you're going to a school, there seems to be a conception, a sticky one, that you've cut funding to schools in general. That's not true, is it?
Absolutely not true. In fact, we've added tremendous resources to K-12 with state dollars. It's over $1 billion in the last 3 years, and the budget we just approved was $1 billion higher than the year before I took office. So it's something that is important to get out there. That is one of the facts. That's one of the most misleading things you're hearing on the air, that I did cut it. That's absolutely inaccurate when you hear that.
Well, enjoy the kids today. He's going to Grand Blanc, and he's reading, what is it again? The irrelevant, what?
Acoustic Rooster.
Acoustic Rooster. Acoustic Rooster. Acoustic
I like
Rooster.
your sound effects. You're in the spirit, Michael Patrick. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. That's Tony Cuthbert and the orchestra scoring the show. And the governor's on his way back to school this morning at 8 before the hour.